Welcome back to the Barrel Talk channel. Something new, something different, something that we're going to be very consistent on going through the NBA offseason. We are going to be doing our first ever NBA 2K rebuild, starting out with the Charlotte Hornets. We talk a lot about team construction, offseason, trades, free agent signings, and separate videos on the podcast side of things. But now we get to get more hands-on on the 2K side of things. Now, I know 2K isn't the most realistic thing, so all of the sliders and rosters and settings that I'm going to be using, I'll have in the description. I use SimGamingNetwrk, has very realistic sliders, very realistic rosters. They take a lot of time and kind of go in and make it as realistic as it possibly can be in a 2K setting. But without further ado, let's rebuild the Charlotte Hornets. Now, looking at this, obviously it's very tough because you see a lot of questions throughout the season. It's like LaMelo Ball can't stay healthy. Brandon Miller had an injury towards the back half of the year that took him out, and he was having a solid year. But it's like I've been hearing a lot of they could trade LaMelo Ball and just build it around Brandon Miller. Now, Brandon Miller has a ton of potential. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet. I think we can go into this offseason entertaining the idea of trading LaMelo Ball, looking at some packages that could make sense. But this team outside of LaMelo Ball, what does it have, right? You have Brandon Miller, obviously, who seems like he's going to be a really, really good player for years to come. Miles Bridges, like he's probably going to give a look to move. Mark Williams was already moved, and then the trade got pushed back. So we're going to be looking to move him this offseason as well. Nurkic, looking to see if we can do anything to get off that $19 million. Probably won't be able to. Trey Mann, we're going to look to bring back. Josh Okogie, good role player. I like what he brings. We're going to try to build more of a defensive mindset with this team around LaMelo Ball, unless we're find a perfect trade for LaMelo Ball to get off this team. But outside of that, Tijan Shalon is a pick I didn't really love last year. We'll see if he can give us anything in progression-wise. But going into this, we're at the offseason. We can go ahead do some of this player retirement stuff. A lot of these guys probably play one more year. But I don't know, the direction of the Hornets, man, it's scary. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very, very scary because LaMelo Ball can't stay healthy. He hasn't really been the most healthy player. But I think going into this, we can see, and we're going to go through the draft lottery right here. Now, I don't have the exact draft order. We're going to move our pick to 4, and then just so it's more realistic with us picking at the 4 spot instead of the 2 spot. Staff signings, Charles Lee, we're going to keep. I think he's really good coach for fitting what the Hornets want to build, more of a defensive identity. Perfectly fine with having him be our head coach going forward, unless things don't work out down the line. But let's get into the NBA draft, man. So we have the 4th overall pick, looking at some of the things that we could do. See, it's weird because the Hornets with Brandon Miller, he always ends up being like this. They always like decline the team option. And he always ends up being a free agent, unrestricted, for some reason. I don't know why they do that. But obviously, we're not going to have that problem happen in today's video. Let's see, just look at the trade finder, see what we can get for somebody like Miles Bridges. I kind of have an idea of a trade that I would want to do. It would involve the LA Clippers. I feel like they could use just a bigger body with more of a scoring mindset, because I feel like outside of Harden and Kawhi and Norman Powell, especially in the playoffs, they don't really have a bigger body, if that makes sense, because I feel like against the Denver Nuggets, Aaron Gordon kind of had their way against them because they didn't have anybody to match his size on the interior. But looking at this, I do think that's pretty much kind of the trade I was going to end up doing, was with the Clippers. Somebody like Derrick Jones Jr. could be a trade chip, and Cam Christie. We're going to give them this Dallas unprotected 2027 pick. This is the kind of the trade I envisioned me doing with Miles Bridges on draft night. So we're going to make that happen. In terms of what I want to do, I would love to see if we can maybe add a pick later in the first, in the teens, because we need to get just more talent on this roster. And that's what I'm going to try to do with this Nurkic contract. Can we get maybe a middle first? I'm going to go just look and see on the trade finder, see if there's any teams that are going to be willing enough to give up maybe a pick in the teens or the early 20s. This is the trade I found right here. We're going to be getting the 25th pick in this year's draft, and in exchange, we're going to be sending the Brooklyn Nets a 2027 first-round pick, top 3 protected from us. Perfectly fine with that. I think in that point in time in 2027, we're going to be pretty solid enough to where that pick won't be and won't convey for them. So looking at this, and it won't be anything valuable. And I feel like we need another young player in this draft. I feel like this draft is very underrated going into it, and I think we need to add just more talent on this roster going forward. So looking at that now, and looking at the Brooklyn Nets, they have so many draft picks in this year's draft. They have 4, now they're going down to 3. So them kind of getting a future pick is going to be, I think, in their best interest, just so they don't have so many rookies on their team going into next year. But looking at our roster, we have the 4th pick. Let's see how the draft. Cooper Flag goes to Philly. Dylan Harper goes to the Nets. Washington gets Ace Bailey. So in my opinion, I think this is going to be a home run pick. I've already mocked this in a previous mock draft of mine. VJ Edgecombe. I think he is the perfect 2-guard to put in between LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller. Defensive mindset, can run the floor, very athletic. I think he's the perfect home run pick for them. And now we're going to go to our next pick at 25. Don't want to trade this pick. Let's go. Colin Murray Boyles fell, going and pushing more of the defensive mindset, somebody that can run the floor. Caravan, he's somebody that's going to end up staying in school. Man. That's Ben Seraph. Will Riley's here for some floor spacing ability. I'm going to go Colin Murray Boyles, pushing the defensive mindset, defensive intensity with him. And now we got VJ Edgecombe, Colin Murray Boyles, 2 guys that are going to fit perfectly in what I want to build over here in Charlotte. Will Riley is still on the board. That would be a second-round steal. Looking more, we could possibly go, where is he at if he's on here? Jace Richardson is here. Like, this save that I do have really isn't updated in terms of rookie class, because a lot of these guys shouldn't really be on the board. So in terms of just trying to stay realistic, I'm not going to pick any of those guys that I think would not be here. I'm going to go Cam Jones. Can give us a veteran guard, more older guard coming into the league off our bench. And now we're going to be picking again Isaiah Evans. Wonder where I want to go here. We have 3 draft picks right now. I want to just be better. We just need to be better. I feel like the Hornets, instead of tanking, need to be in a mindset where they need to really just look to compete. I think this is the year the Hornets, if they do the right things this offseason, could put themselves in a position to compete, to at least be in the play-in out East next year at the minimum. But let's go ahead. Let's go Johnny Broom, just to add some more depth to our front court. So that'll be our draft picks. We will go to rookie signings. Now here are rookie signings: VJ Edgecombe, Colin Murray Boyles, Cam Jones, Johnny Broom. So looking at that, love our two first picks. I think Cam Jones could be a nice bench piece for us. And Johnny Broom, depending on how he develops, we'll see how he ends up developing in 2K. Interested to see how he ends up in real life developing as well. So we're going to bring back all 3 of these guys. All right. Now going into qualifying offers. Let them go. We're going to throw it out to Trey Mann for sure. Now looking at our roster, this is where we need to go ahead and find the Mark Williams trade. Going to move Brandon Miller to the 3, Edgecombe to the 2, just because that's how I feel like the starting lineup is going to go next year. Put him at 2, and then we will go there. Small forward, power forward. Yep. So this is going to be, so we need to go definitely get a backup guard. Actually, we can just go ahead and change Cam Jones to backup point guard as well while we're here. Where's Cam Jones at? Right here. So we're going to make him point guard, shooting guard. All right. So we're going to definitely need to add a backup point guard. Some more wing depth. Could slide Derrick Jones Jr. to that 3, adding more space for Colin Murray Boyles, T.J. Shalon as well. But let's go search and find a trade for Mark Williams. So this is the trade I found on the Trade Finder. Mark Williams for Jose Alvarado and a 2026 first-round pick swap best with the Pelicans from the Bucks. This fills that need that we have at the backup point guard spot. Like I said, we're trying to build more of a defensive identity, and we're picking up a first-round pick in this deal as well for Mark Williams. The risk is definitely there to trade for Mark Williams. We know the injury history. Obviously, going to have to pay him soon, only on a one-year deal. Let's go ahead and do this trade. I like Jose Alvarado backing up LaMelo Ball coming off that bench being a pest, and we add some more draft capital, which I'm completely fine with. Now, let's see if we can find anything for Jusuf Nurkic on the trade block. Probably not going to be a lot. We have added some draft capital, so if we need to attach a pick and try to get him off the books, we'll try to do that. An interesting trade I found. Jusuf Nurkic and Josh Koji for Jrue Holiday, Xavier Tillman. Now, this would be us bailing the Celtics out. They are going to be looking to shed cap. That's already been rumored to happen this offseason. Jrue Holiday has a 2-year contract. They're getting 2 expiring contracts. And the Boston Celtics now, Jason Tatum, I do have injured in this world that we're living in with the Charlotte Hornets. So they're going to be looking to kind of take a retool, step back next year to be better in the future, and shedding cap is going to be a part of that deal. I think they would definitely hop on and do 2 expiring contracts for Jrue Holiday and Xavier Tillman. So we're going to add the exception and get that done. Now we have a veteran in Jrue Holiday, great defender still, can play off of LaMelo Ball in between VJ Edgecombe, Brandon Miller. I like the idea of adding Jrue Holiday. I know the contract is a lot, but I think he can have more of an offensive impact and an offensive role on the Charlotte Hornets if this trade were to happen. And the Boston Celtics are looking to shed some cap, so I'm not mad at that trade whatsoever. So looking at our roster, we're going to move Jrue Holiday to the 2. We're going to add some more depth there at that spot. And I just think he's going to be a perfect complement piece to LaMelo Ball going forward. Somebody that can also take the ball out of LaMelo Ball's hands when needed. So defensively, we are already looking a lot better. Brandon Miller can guard. Jrue Holiday can guard. VJ Edgecombe has the athletic ability to come into the league and be at least a great defender right away. Derrick Jones Jr. can guard. Grant Williams gives us that vet and that floor spacing ability. Kyle Murray-Boyles, Jose Alvarado. So we're already kind of building that identity of being a way better defensive team going forward. We're going to go ahead and change a couple more positions just so I know exactly where we're going in free agency. Right now in free agency, we're going to have a little bit of money to spend. We are definitely looking to upgrade our center position. Definitely going to upgrade our center position. Let's go to cap holds. Still have that Trey Mann one. So we're going to have a little bit of money to play with for sure. Depending on what we want to use that money for, we'll see who's available, but we definitely need to upgrade our center position. So we do have a little bit of a trade exception there. Let's just get through moratorium, and then we can see where we're looking at. So looking at the people who have signed, LeBron went back to the Lakers, Cam Thomas went back to the Nets, Miles Turner went back to the Pacers, Portis went to the Bulls, Westbrook went back to the Nuggets, Naz Reid to the Pistons, Kuminga went back to the Warriors on a 2-year deal, and then some smaller stuff. But looking at what we have, need to go as a big. The stuff we can afford, Clint Capella's here. I wouldn't be mad at him for a 1-year kind of bridge deal. He really doesn't have any serious offers. A lot of people, a lot of suitors for Andre Drummond. Let's throw Clint Capella a deal. 2-year. Let's go 2-year team deal. About 10 right there. Let's look at Mo Wagner's here, coming off his injury. Kevon Looney's here. There's just the big market this offseason. There isn't really a ton there. So hopefully we can bag. Maybe we can just get. If the Boston Celtics don't want him, maybe 1 year of Al Horford isn't the worst thing. Maybe he can be a tradable contract at the deadline. See if we can get him right there. So let's see both of their offers. So we're up there for Clint Capella, and then we are also up there for Al Horford. Is there anybody else that I'm kind of seeing a little bit of an interest in? Maybe defensively, DeAnthony Melton could be interesting. Because we still got to bring back Trey Mann as well. Isaiah Joe's here for some spacing. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's here. I don't know if we'll have the money to bring him in. Let me scour free agency and see if there's anything else I like and see if there's anything else I could see adding to this team. Now, this is our roster going into player progression. So now we have LaMelo Ball, Trey Mann, Jose Alvarado, and kind of our point guard switching ability. Now we're going into our 2 guard. Now we have probably Drew Holiday starting over VJ Edgecombe. We'll see how it all plays out and the fit I want on this roster. 3, we have Brandon Miller, Derrick Jones Jr., Grant Williams, Xavier Tillman, Tijon Salon. We'll probably just look to release Xavier Tillman. And then we have Clint Capella, Diabate, who I really, really like with this team to run the floor. And Clint Capella can be a little bit of a lob threat for LaMelo Ball. He's more of a bridge guy going into next offseason to see what we can do in the center position and see if we can improve that maybe at the deadline. It could be our rotation to start the year. LaMelo at the 1, Drew Holiday at the 2, Brandon Miller at the 3, Grant Williams at the 4, Clint Capella at the 5, VJ at our 6th man, Trey Mann and VJ coming off the bench for us, Derrick Jones Jr., Kyle Murray Boyles, Tijon Salon. We're going to monitor Tijon Salon, see how his progression goes throughout the year, because there are some guys I want to get in those rotations. Same with Diabate. Josh Green can be somebody that we could look to move at the deadline. Jose Alvarado as well. Seeing where we are going forward. But this is going to be the rotation going into game 1. So y'all ain't gonna believe it. We are the 1 seed at the deadline, 35-15. Man, look at us hooping. Look at us hooping. Like, let's go to the stats, man. To be the 1 seed, I know we out east, but the Hornets are being the 1 seed. So, LaMelo's giving us 27, 7 and 7 a night. 50 from the field, 37 from 3. Brandon Miller's having a big year. He's averaging 23 a night. VJ Edgecombe off our bench is averaging 15 as a rookie. Trey Mann off our bench is averaging about 12. Tillman's giving us about 9 a game. Drew Holiday's giving us about 7 and 5, but he's there for his defense and his IQ and being that good connecting piece. He's shooting 34% from 3. Offensively, we're not looking from Drew Holiday to be this big-time impact offensively, because that is opening up the door for LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, VJ Edgecombe, Trey Mann. Even Tillman's giving us some good minutes. Like, man, Clint Capella, he's giving us about 9 rebounds a game. This is what I expect out of Clint Capella. Salon, about 12 minutes a night, shooting okay, about 36% from 3. He's always been more of a project play. That's why I didn't really like them going that route. Maybe not because he was a project play, but there was just definitely other people available at that time that I felt would have been better suited for this team. Kyle Murray Boyles, he's giving us about 7, 4, and about 2.5, 50% from the field, 36% from 3. So we are really, really hooping. We are really, really hooping. Is LaMelo Ball, he has to be in some kind of MVP race. He's 5th. So he's 5th in MVP right now. Do we have VJ? VJ is 3rd in Rookie of the Year right now as well. So looking at that, hopefully we can get LaMelo Ball an MVP, man. Hopefully we can get LaMelo Ball an MVP. Charlotte Hornets are the 1st seed. The 1st seed. Who would have thought? Who would have thought at the trade deadline? But we're just at the deadline. Let's go and look at some contract extensions, see if we can get anything done right now. Brandon Miller, we can go ahead and add him, get him locked up long term, about 26, 4 years. Let's go ahead and lock this up right now. So we got Brandon Miller signed for the next long haul of 6 years total. Josh Green, don't really need to bring Josh Green back. I like Grant Williams with this team. Let's go. Maybe not for that much, though. Maybe 9.5 with the player option. See if he does this. So he declined. We'll deal with that in the offseason. But looking at that, now we go to the playoffs. Has the 1 seed. Let's see how we do in this back half of the season. So at the deadline, we ended as the 1 seed. And at the end of the season, we still remain to be the 1 seed. SGA wins MVP. Man, if the Charlotte Hornets got the 1 seed and LaMelo Ball was putting up the numbers that he was putting up in this sim, I think he would be the MVP of the league. I really, really do. We'll see how many wins the Thunder have, but if we're the 1 seed and the Charlotte Hornets, man, I'd have a hard time believing that LaMelo Ball wouldn't be at least top 2 in MVP discussions. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey goes to the Pacers, and he's the 6th man of the year. Vic, Defensive Player of the Year. Trace Jackson Davis is most improved. Giannis wins Clutch Player of the Year. Mark Dano. So they got 65 wins. So, okay. So looking at All-NBA First Team, we do see LaMelo Ball on All-NBA First Team. Where's that at? So he ended up having 27, 7, about 8, shooting 50 from the field, 51 from the field, 39 from 3, 85 from the line. This is the reason why I don't think they should ever look to move him. If you can keep him in Charlotte as long as he can, he's box office. You just need him to stay healthy. You need to put the right team around him because he can put up numbers like this in real life. But looking at that, all NBA second team, all defense first team, all defense second team. We got VJ on all rookie first team, averaging 15 points a game off our bench for us, 15, 3 and 5, 37 from 3, about 50 from the field, 82 from the line. We have just had an insanely good shooting display from our team as a whole. So we were the 1 seed. How many wins did we finish with? We were 56-26. New York and Boston were right on our heels. Even Boston. So the Jaylen Brown, so they won 54 games. No Drew Holiday. Jason Tatum was hurt all year. Derek White looks to be hurt. 7-3 in their last 10. So Peyton Pritchard must have had an insane year. He had 18, averaged 18. Jaylen Brown averaged 23. Kristaps Porzingis averaged 22. It looks like they got a healthy year out of Porzingis. So they were still able to put together a really successful season with 54 wins. Orlando had 52 wins. Detroit with 49. So the Cleveland Cavaliers ended up being in the play-in. Philadelphia ended up being in the play-in with Embiid, Flag, and PG, and Tyrese Maxey's hurt. So looking at this, New York still top dog. 2 seed. They added Gary Payton II. Didn't really do too much to that bench. That bench is still lacking a lot. Where is OG Anunoby hurt? So OG Anunoby's hurt. So a lot of teams are hurt in this Eastern Conference. This could be, man, you're going to tell me in one rebuild, one offseason, the Charlotte Hornets could be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference going into the playoffs next year? Man, oh man. Now looking at West, this is all the stuff out West. So looking at this, who are we going to play? Of course we get Cleveland. All right. So looking at this, still have their top 4. Brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They have Isaac Okoro, Max Strus, Jalen Tyson. DeAndre Hunter's hurt. So let's go and look at this playoff rotation and see how I'm going to figure this one out. So this is what we're going to go with to start the playoffs. LaMelo at the 1, VJ at the 2, Miller at the 3, Grant Williams only playing 20 minutes a night at the 4, just for some more size. Clint Capella at the 5, off our bench, Drew Holiday, Derrick Jones Jr., Trey Mann, Salon. They wanted to put Salon in the starting 5 at the 4, but I feel like against the Cavs team, going up against Evan Mobley, we just need a little bit more strength and size at that 4 spot, inserting Grant Williams. Looking at our system proficiency, we are 3-star balanced. We're just going to stay like that because we stayed like that all year. But going into Cleveland, let's see, win game 1, 118-104. Looking at this, Mobley had a game, but look at his depth. VJ Edgecombe, first playoff game, has a rookie, comes out and performs. Love to see that. Game 2, we win. 140, we're killing them. They win game 3. Donovan Mitchell has a day. Donovan Mitchell finally shows up to the party. They tied up 2-2. Going back to Charlotte for game 5. Clint Capella, 10 and 11. LaMelo with 27. Can we please win game 5? We do win game 5 at home. LaMelo Ball with 31, 6 and 6. Brandon Miller pitching in 20 as well. Now going into game 6. And we win in 6, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road, 122-295. LaMelo Ball with 35, 7, and 10. He had 8 turnovers, though, but 2 steals. So looking at this, 25, 9, and 3 from Brandon Miller in a closeout game on the road. Now we have the Detroit Pistons. Now looking at this, going into it, Cade, Ivy, Asar, Naz Reid, which is a great pickup, and Jalen Duren. Let's go ahead, see what we can do. On the other side, we have OKC and Houston, Minnesota and New Orleans, and the Knicks and Boston over on the other side as well. Do they have Jason Tatum back? Let me go see if they have Jason Tatum back at this point. So they do get Jason Tatum back at this point for this playoff run. Crazy. So, lose game 1 at home. Cade, Nas, Tobias, man, they all had a good game. Now going in, we win game 2. Brandon Miller puts up 26, 2-point game, close series. Win game 3, 114-111. There we go, LaMelo Ball, 35, 3, and 9. Only one turnover. They tied up 2-2. Game 5. We go down 3-2. Man, we got to make some changes. Maybe got to shorten this rotation up. What's Salon been doing in the playoffs? Man, he's been terrible in the playoffs. What's Trey Mann been doing? 13. Gotta have Trey Mann scoring come off our bench. Derrick Jones Jr. has been really good in the playoffs. Jrue Holiday, really solid in the playoffs, shooting 52% from 3. Clint Capella's been good in the playoffs as well. Where do we go? Do we even add any more? Don't really want to throw rookie Kyle Murray Boyles out there into the fire like that. Man, where do we go? Let's go more minutes to Jrue Holiday. Let's go more minutes to Brandon Miller. Let's go 2 more to Trey Mann. So we're going to be running 8-man rotation. All right. Let's get this one. Let's go back game 7 at home on the road. Start out really well. Second quarter, start out really good as well. Second half, a little bit. Let's not blow this lead. We gave up 44 points in the third quarter. 112-93. Fourth quarter, up 20. Still up. And we're going to force a game 7. Looking at this, Brandon Miller had 32. VJ Edgecombe had 26. LaMelo had 25, 8, and 11. Clint Capella had a double-double. That's what we like to see. Even Jrue Holiday, not the most offensive impacting game. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. Love to see that. So now we are into a game 7. At home in Charlotte. Let's make it happen. First quarter back and forth. Win the second quarter. Man, nip into a game. We're up right now. Conference finals on the cusp. 12 minutes of basketball for the conference finals. Let's hold this lead. And it looks like we are going to be going to the conference finals. LaMelo Ball in a game 7 at home has 44, 11, 10, 2 steals, 2 blocks, only 2 turnovers. Looking at VJ Edgecombe, a rookie. What is he averaging? Has a rookie averaging 15, shooting 46% from 3, 48 from the floor. Brandon Miller's been doing his thing in the playoffs as well. Look at the pickup of Jrue Holiday. This is exactly what 52% from 3 in the playoffs. 52% from 3. And we are now going up against the Boston Celtics, who also won in 7 games over there. They ended up winning in overtime, 139-134, against the New York Knicks. Tatum at 17, 17, and 10. Man. We're going to keep the rotation the same. 1-3 versus 1-2 over on the Western Conference side. With Charlotte Hornets are in the conference finals in year 1 of this rebuild against the Boston Celtics. Lose to Boston game 1. Lose to Boston game 2. Cannot go down 0-3 here. Okay. Cannot go down 0-3 here. Jrue Holiday still doing fine. Clint Capella still doing fine. Derrick Jones Jr. still doing fine. Man, where do we go here? What's Grant Williams been doing? Grant Williams hasn't really been the best. Let's switch this up. Let's plug in Derrick Jones Jr. here. About 30 minutes. Let's go. Can't lose. We're going to go LaMelo Ball, 45 minutes played this game. 8-man rotation. Last 2 to Jrue Holiday. Here we go. Gotta have this game. And we do. To not go down 0-3. 127-122. LaMelo Ball has a really good game. Brandon Miller, 28, 11, 7, and 3 steals. Man, Derrick Jones Jr., really clutch move inserting him. Don't go down 3-1. And we tie it up 2-2. So we drop both games at home. Then we go into Boston and take 2 on their home floor. Looking at this, man, we're just... VJ Edgecombe's been a gem, man. He's been a real gem. So now tied up 2-2. Back in Charlotte. And we drop game 5. back to Boston, so we haven't won a home game in this series, and they haven't as well. Game 6 in Boston. Can we force a game 7? And we don't. We lose in 6. First year of this rebuild, getting to the conference finals and being the 1 seed out east. I'm already thinking about ways that we can improve this roster at that center position for sure going forward. So it's going to be Boston and the Thunder. Let's see how this game 6 played out. Tatum had 35, 7, 8, and 3 steals in a block. VJ had 24. Brandon Miller had 24. LaMelo had 20. Didn't have his best game. Derrick Jones Jr. had 11. Really good playoff performance from him. Drew Holiday wasn't really 0 for 6. Clint Capella had 18 rebounds. We just need better out of Drew Holiday there. Grant Williams didn't even take a shot. Trey Mann wasn't good as well, 0 for 5. So, going into this offseason, I like where we are as a team. But going forward, we definitely need to upgrade that center position. I'm not mad with bringing Clint Capella back, but I definitely think we need to add a little bit more there. So looking at the draft lottery, where are we at? We have the 11th pick via the Grizzlies. And is that all? And we have the 27th pick. So we have 11 and 27 in this year's draft. Staff signings, perfectly fine where we are. Going to the NBA draft, I'm going to take some time to look at some trades, see if we can add some more center depth to this team. So looking at this trade, we are in the draft at this point. We're going to be trading Josh Green for Goga, some second-round draft capital. Goga can be a nice rotational piece in our front court. We still have the 11th pick. See what we can get for this 11th pick. They have Damian Lillard on the block, or we have the 9th pick. Not really seeing a whole lot here. John Collins is here. OG Anunoby's here. I don't really want that contract. We could do an OG for Drew Holiday swap here, and they would get pick 9, and we would get pick 26. What did OG do last year? 16. That would still add to our defense. So we'd go LaMelo, BJ, Brandon Miller, OG. I don't hate that. Nas Reed's here. That contract is just so much for OG Anunoby. 42 mil. I mean, we have the Drew Holiday contract. We could look to move it. Drew Holiday is really solid in the playoffs, except for that last game 6 for us. I like this just because of the defense we could have. The defense we could have would be nice. Let's do it. We're going to do 9th pick and Drew Holiday for OG Anunoby, and we're going to be trading into the back half of this first round in this year's draft. So we're going to be adding OG Anunoby to upgrade our power forward position. Now we're going to our next draft pick, which I don't even like anybody we draft. Maybe I can look to move this pick. So this is 11. So we had 9 and 11. There really just isn't a whole lot here that I think we need. Let me see. Let me take some time to see if there's anything we can do here to really upgrade this roster. So we need an upgrade at the center spot. This is the trade I came up with. Grant Williams, the 11th pick, and pick 20. What pick was we have? 26. So we're throwing in Grant Williams, 11 and 26 for Zubac. Now we already added OG in the draft. We're adding Zubac to upgrade that center position because we don't really need all this draft capital. Our team's already super young, and it's already hard enough for us to play some of the young guys on this team. So, and the Clippers, for this one, they could use more draft capital. They're going in a different direction. So now the Clippers have the 11th pick, and they end up going with Berries. So now looking at us, we have only 1 pick now in the first round, and we are just going to probably go best player available. We can just add some more center size right here. So looking at this, Adrian DeBanson went 1, Boozer went 2, Darren Peterson went 3. The Suns ended up getting the 3rd overall pick. So 1 rookie, we're completely fine with that this year. So now looking at it, we have Trey Mann, LaMelo Ball, BJ, Nick Smith Jr., Brandon Miller, Derrick Jones Jr., OG Anunoby, Salon, Kyle Murray Boyles at our power forward, Zubac, Clint Capella, who we're probably going to lose. In free agency, we have Goga now to be our backup 5. So we're going to let that go on We'll let it go on Nick Smith Jr., and we're going to keep Salon on this team. So now, looking at this, going into Luka's a free agent. Qualifying offers, we don't have any. Moratorium. So what are some things we could add to this roster? We could add backup shooting guard. I feel like at center we're perfectly fine with Zubac and Goga and Diabate. So we really could just use a backup 2 guard and maybe another backup point guard, kind of like that Jose Alvarado we just had. Looking at what we can work with, I'm going to go and scour free agency to see what we can find. So, one day after moratorium, are we able to bring in D'Anthony Melton and Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Oh, man. Are we able to bring in both? We don't have enough money to bring in D'Anthony Melton, but we do end up getting Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We have bird rights on Jose Alvarado, who can just be another point guard in our rotation if we need him to be. We got to put him on a 1+1, and we're able to bring in Jose Alvarado. So looking at this team now, LaMelo Ball brought back Alvarado. Now we have VJ Edgecombe and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Derrick Jones Jr. Maybe add another wing. But looking at this trade, Nick Smith Jr., Jose Alvarado, and kind of a sign and trade for Obi Toppin and a second-round pick from the Pacers. Obi Toppin gives us more size on the wing and gives us more depth in that position because we can go and probably find a guard that can kind of fit the role of what Jose Alvarado was doing. Even somebody like Pat Spencer could come in for a year and just fill that kind of void. The Golden State matched that offer for Pat Spencer. Okay. Cam Jones is here, who wasn't just not able to fit our rotation. We could add. I think we're fine. So now we have Obi Toppin on our team, and he can kind of give us some small forward minutes as well. We'll see what we can do with Salon at the small forward position as well. But I'm going to go ahead and change that, and then we can get into player progressions. So now we are in player progressions. LaMelo stays the same. Brandon Miller goes up 1. VJ goes up 4. Zubac stays the same. OG stays the same. Goga goes up. So we have a lot of people going up. Nobody went down. So this is good. We're still young. 1 seed last year, went to the conference finals, lost to the Boston Celtics in 6 games. I expect us to be around that same realm going into this season. Now, I'll be back when I get the rotations right and what I want to do going to this year. This is the rotation I feel like we're going to be successful in. We have a very, very deep team. We're going to be running 11-man rotation. We're very versatile. I love the addition of OG Anunoby and his defense, kind of switching and going with more younger, bigger version of kind of like a Drew Holiday for what we had on our team last year. Zubac is going to be our center replacement from Clint Capella. Solon's going to be our 6th man off the bench with Obi Toppin, Goga, Derrick Jones Jr., Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And we'll see how it goes. Looking at system proficiency, we are 3.5 stars for balance. Are we even better anywhere else? Pace and space. We'll go pace and space and see how we end up doing. But to start the year, we have a rematch of the conference finals versus the Boston Celtics. See how we perform in this one. And we lose 132-140. Brandon Miller has 28. LaMelo Ball has 27. Zubac has 15, 9, and 4. But I am super, super confident in this team this year. We'll see at the trade deadline where we are standing. So we are at this year's trade deadline. We are currently the 2nd seed. Looking at standings, Cavs, big bounce back year. They're 41-10. Celtics right behind us at 34-17. Wizards are 31-20. Nets are 30-21. So looking at this, 2nd seed, like where we are, let's look at our stats, see what we're feeling at. LaMelo averaging 27, 7, and 9 this year. Shooting 50, 41, 83 splits. Brandon Miller averaging 23. VJ Edgecombe averaging about 15, same as he did his rookie year. OG Anunoby giving us 11 a night. What is he shooting from 3? With 41 from 3, and he's averaging a steal a night. LaMelo Ball is also averaging 2 steals a night as well, with VJ averaging a steal, almost Brandon Miller also averaging almost a steal a night as well. Zubac averaging 9 and 9 for us. We have a deep, deep team. Trey Mann off our bench is averaging about 9. Obi Toppin's averaging about 9. Looking at this, really like where we are. 2 seed. Don't think there's any moves we need to make. Maybe do we shorten the rotation back half of the year? Do we shorten this rotation? Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's been fine. He's been serviceable for us. Trey Mann's been serviceable for us as well. We're going to shorten this rotation a little bit, And then we are going to go into this back half of the year and see where we are going into the playoffs. Let's go through contract extensions real quick. See if there's anything we need to do. OG Anunoby, he's going to resign. We're going to go ahead and re-up on him. 2 more years. Zubac is going to resign as well. We're going to get him signed. Goga, he's been serviceable for us. Derrick Jones Jr., I feel like he's been really solid for us since we traded for him at the start of this video. Obi Toppin, sure, we can just pretty much have the ability to just run this team back next year and going into the future. So we're going to bring all these guys back, and we're going to go into the playoffs. The MVP of this season is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, I feel like he should have won it last year. We were the 1 seed. He averages about 28, 7, and almost 10 assists with 2 steals, averaging 50, 40, 85 splits. Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 26 over in Phoenix. Tyler Hero, 6th Man of the Year over in Miami. Defense Player of the Year is Victor Wembanyama. Tari Eason's Most Improved Player. Kay Cunningham, Clutch Player of the Year. And Joe Mazzulla, now with the Cavs, wins Coach of the Year over there. LaMelo Ball, first team. Their second team. Nobody else on all NBA teams from the Charlotte Hornets. Nobody on all defensive teams from us as well. And then now we're in the playoffs. We ended up being the 2 seed. Have the MVP of the league. Feeling confident we can win a championship this year. Gonna keep Nickeil Alexander-Walker out of the rotation. Obi Toppin's been fine. Salon, he hasn't been good. We're gonna take him out, and we're going to insert in Nickeil Alexander-Walker in his place. Derrick Jones Jr. What's Derrick Jones been? 35 from 3. He's been serviceable. Trey Mann, better towards the second half of the season. Goga has been not the greatest. Zubac is hurt. What is he dealing with? Oh, left ankle day-to-day. He will be fine. Lower it on Goga maybe a little bit. About 15 to back up Zubac. Let's go 38 to our MVP. 34 to Brandon Miller. 34 to VJ. The top 3 right there. Let's go a little bit less to Derrick Jones Jr., a little bit more to OG. So this is what we're going to go into the playoffs with right here. Let's see if we can win an NBA championship this season. So the plan, we are playing the Philadelphia 76ers. See what their team's looking like. Jared McCain, Josh Green, Paul George, Cooper Flagg, and Joel Embiid. We are definitely better than this team. We should be able to take care of business against them. Win game 1, win game 2, win game 3. Do we sweep them? And we do sweep them. Pretty much easy work. Man, 39 from Brandon Miller, 29 from LaMelo Ball, 29 from VJ Edgecombe, 15 from Trey Mann as well. Now we have Boston, rematch of last year's conference finals. They just got out of a 7-game series with Detroit. We have home court. Let's see what their roster is looking like this year. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis. So, going to be a rematch of last year's conference finals. Let's see if we can finally beat the Boston Celtics. Man, we lose game 1. Brown and Tatum, man. Win game 2. 35, 10, and 14, and 3 steals for LaMelo Ball. That's the MVP of the league. Come on, win game 2. We lose game 2. Porzingis has a game. Man. Go 2-2. There we go. Game 5 back in Charlotte. Win game 5. Now we have a closeout situation. Let's try to close the Boston Celtics out. I'm going to change the rotation just a little bit just to touch some things up. We'll see what Obi Toppin's been doing in the playoffs. Been abysmal. Abysmal. We're going down to a 9-man rotation. What's Salon been doing? Salon hasn't been the greatest either. Trey Mann's been hooping. More run to Trey Mann. A little bit less to Salon. Goga. Backup center quality. What Zubac been giving us? About a double-double a night. Perfectly fine with that. We're going to go 41 to LaMelo Ball. 36 and more to. So we're going to go 6-man rotation. See if we can close out Boston. And we do. Back to the conference finals and back-to-back seasons. LaMelo Ball with 45, 11, 8, and 6 steals, 3 blocks. Man, LaMelo's crazy in the sim. Brandon Miller with 33, 8, and 3. Man, oh man. Now we're back to the conference finals. Who we're going to be playing? And we're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the 1 and 2 seeds match up on both sides. I think the Wolves and OKC Thunder met up last year on the Western Conference side of things. So they have Ace Bailey, Jordan Poole, Tamari Kamara, Alex Sarr. So the Wizards kind of hit that next step and got to the second round. They beat the Knicks in the first round. So now we are going into the conference finals versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. We lose game 1. We beat this team last year in the second round. We take game 2. Good stuff, LaMelo. Let's go. We take game 3. Yes, sir. 2 more wins, and we're in the finals. We're up 3-1. Please don't blow a 3-1 lead. Let's close the series out. Now, nope, we're not even gonna mess around. We're not even gonna mess around with this before they come back on us down 3-1. Better in the conference finals. Okay. Where do we go here? Let's go less. Trey Man's been hooping. Let's go a little bit less to Derrick Jones Jr. Let's go LaMelo Ball. We need to close the series out. Game 6, and they force 7. Oh, my gosh. They forced a game 7. By 2. Gave up 42 in that fourth quarter. Man, where do we go with this rotation? Do we go 8-man rotation? Finals on the line. I like Trey Man in this rotation better than Salon. I just do. Oh, man. Let's get it done. I'm going to go Simcast. So OKC makes the finals. Good start. Great start. Let them back in the start of the third. They start out hot start of the second. Now we're in the third. We're blowing it. They're at home. Bad third quarter. Down 10. Down 16. Oh, my gosh. Let's fight back. A little bit of a drought there. And we're going to be eliminated in Game 7. LaMelo Ball had 32, 6, and 12. Garland, man. And Darius Garland wins your conference finals MVP. So we lose in Game 7, won this year, and we lost in Game 6 last year. Man, oh man. But we are in a position to where we can just run this roster back. I think we need to maybe add a little bit more shooting off our bench. We'll go to the draft lottery and see where we are at with picks. We are... might not have any picks in this one. We still have Charles Lee as our coach. He's on last year of his deal. We're going to go to the NBA draft, and we're going to kind of get through this offseason because we're pretty much bringing back just the same team. So after looking at some trades, Goga, who we could probably get a better center for what he gave us last year on the market, Obi Toppin, and this first-round pick from us unprotected for Trey Murphy, who I looked at Team Intel, is on the block for the Pelicans. See what they do it. Trey Murphy would fit what we do perfectly over here. Another pick. This is a lot. For Trey Murphy. Can we get a second in there? If we kept Goga, could we do Salon and Obi? This Heat one. And we do. So we added Trey Murphy. We are able to get Trey Murphy on our team. So now we're going to have a Trey Murphy coming off our bench. I like OG at the 4. We're going to have Trey Murphy coming off our bench now. Really going to be able to shore up this rotation. We still have Goga. What do we have money-wise? We don't really have a lot. I'm personally fine with that trade going into next year. Looking at some of the people that signed. Wembanyama with the Spurs, pretty much everybody. We can get Josh Giddey back to the Bulls. Kuminga goes to the Clippers. Nasri goes to the Warriors. So I'm perfectly fine with us going into player progression and going into next year with that Trey Murphy trade. See if that can take us over the top. Looking at the player progression, everybody kind of goes up or stays the same. VJ Edgecombe gets to 84. Brandon Miller to 85. LaMelo Ball goes up. Now, looking at this, going into next year, let's go look at our rotation and see if we can finally get over the hump and get to an NBA championship. So, and since we started this rebuild with the Charlotte Hornets, we've been to conference finals in our first year, lost 6 games to the Celtics, and then we went back to the conference finals and lost in 7 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So ever since we've taken over this team, been to back-to-back conference finals. So looking at this rotation, Trey Murphy's going to be our 6th man. Hopefully Trey Murphy can be in 6th man of the year conversations. I love what we have now. Colin Murray Boyles, we're going to give him some run and go to a 9-man rotation. Perfectly fine with this. Trey Man, no. Trey Man, we're going to go 10-man. 10-man to get Trey Man in rotation, for sure. For sure. Oh, we still have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We're going to go and see what Colin Murray Boyles can give us over Derrick Jones Jr., and we're going to go with Trey Man getting those minutes, a little bit less to Goga, and then we're going to go with Trey Man and Trey Murphy off our bench. I really, really like that fit. Consistent proficiency before we get started. Let's go. Let's just go balanced here, and then we will see at the trade deadline. So at the trade deadline, we are 37-11, back at the top of the Eastern Conference. Cavs and Wizards are right along with us in the top 3 of the conference. It seems like Boston has fallen off. Looking at our rotation, see what Colin Murray Boyles is giving us. 8, about 3 rebounds. We're fine with that. Good shooting efficiency from the field. Could be a little bit better from 3. What's Trey Murphy been giving us? Been giving us 18 off the bench, shooting insane splits. Insane splits from Trey Murphy. That was a very, very good pickup. Zubac is doing fine. OG's doing fine. Brandon Miller's giving us 23 a night. VJ's giving us 18 a night. And LaMelo Ball is doing LaMelo Ball things, averaging 24, 7, and 10. This is the year. This is the year. What's Trey Man giving us? Trey Man, I expect those kind of numbers. So looking at this, this has to be the year. This has got to be the year. Let's go and see if LaMelo's in. He's 4th in MVP this year. 4th in MVP this year. I don't really have anything else. We can go make sure. Contract extensions. See if we can go ahead and bring back LaMelo Ball. Trey Murphy we can sign to an extension. And then I think this is the year we win a chip. This has to be this year. Gotta be this year, gentlemen. LaMelo Ball has won another MVP award, averaging 25, about 7, 10, about 2 steals a night, 50, 40, 85 splits. LaMelo Ball has now won back-to-back MVP awards. Looking at this, AJ Debinsa wins 6th Man of the Year, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player of the Year, Cole Pete Most Improved, Jaren Jackson Jr., I've never seen this, Clutch Player of the Year, and Mark Daigneault. They went 72-10. 72-10 over there in OKC. This is first team. Man, 72-10. What did we end up finishing in terms of standings? We won 66 games. OKC won 72. So looking at this, the Rockets won 57, Cleveland won 56. Man, who are we getting out of the plan? Of course, we get Boston out of the plan. Let's see what their roster is looking like. The 2K Sim gods do not like Boston whatsoever. So they have Zach Collins. They ended up trading Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Peyton Pritchard. I think we're just better than this team. I really do. I think we're just better than this team. We're going to shorten this rotation up a little bit. See what we're going with. Trey Murphy, man, he's been a great add. A great add. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to go out of this rotation. Derrick Jones Jr. or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We're going to go Nickeil over Derrick Jones Jr. See where that can get us because we already have Trey Murphy off our bench as well. So we're going to go with that. Boston, we win game 1. They win game 2. They win game 3. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. Come on, guys. Come on. Shorten this rotation even more. Can't go down 3-1 here. Tied up 2-2. Thank God. Go up 3-2. Come on, let's get out of this first round series. Come on, 66-win team. And we get 4 games. Of course we get Boston. Baylor Shireman. Are we serious? 25. 25 points. And we lose by 3. Man. Now game 7, 66-win team. Oh my Lord. Man, where do we even go from here? Where do we even go from here? Oh, man. All right. I was a little tired. First round, not taking care of business like we should. Come on. At home. Great second quarter. Come on. Back and forth game. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Come on. Right here at home. Come on. Make a push. Strong end to the third. Come on. Need to have it. Oh, man. Down 8. Start of the fourth. Down 8. 66-win team. Back and forth all game. VJ's hooping. Brandon Miller. LaMelo. Who's hooping over there for their side? Liam McNeely has 20. Oh my gosh. And we just lost to the Boston Celtics with 66-win team. And the Boston Celtics were the 8th seed. Oh. LaMelo Ball back-to-back MVPs. Man. This is just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. We're going to go one more year and see if we can get this championship for the Charlotte Hornets. We're going to go one more year. I'll see you guys at the start of next season. Right here, Goga, Derrick Jones Jr., and a 2029 first-round pick from us. Unprotected for Walker Kessler. They accept that to have Walker Kessler be our backup 5-man going into next year, improving that position, see if that can help us get over the hump. Other than that, like what Kyle Murray-Boyles gives us defensively, same with OG Anunoby. We have a nice tandem right there. Trey Murphy was great for us off the bench. Maybe I'm fine with Trey, man. That's the thing. Like, is there even anything like remotely that we could add? Like, I think we just actually let's bring back Jrue Holiday, somebody we started this video with. See if we can bring him back and win a championship with Jrue Holiday. And we are able to bring in Jrue Holiday just to bring him back because that's kind of the trade that kickstarted us into being a successful team in this rebuild. So let's look at the people that have signed. AD goes back to the Mavericks. Random stuff there. Now going into player progressions, running this team back. Brought back Jrue Holiday as well. Player progressions. Zubac goes down, but we added a Walker Kessler as well. Zubac might be our backup 5 going into next year. Jrue Holiday goes down, but he's just here to try to win a championship because he was the very trade that got us to this point in the video. He got us OG Anunoby. No, we haven't won a championship yet, but hopefully this is the year, and I will see you guys at another MVP for the Charlotte Hornets. Another MVP. This has to be the year. This has to be the year, but it's not LaMelo Ball this time. It is VJ Edgecombe, averaging about 25, 5, and 7 a night with 2 steals, 50, 33, 88 from the splits. Looking at this, Fred Morgan, 6th man of the year. Victor Wembanyama wins Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player of the Year. Kemba Walker, Coach of the Year. New coach of the Charlotte Hornets. Gotta have a championship this year. 69-13. It's time. BJ Edgecombe, All-NBA first team. LaMelo didn't even make it All-NBA team. Okay. Let's see what's going on. 4-star balance. Like where we're at. They want to start Kyle Murray-Boyles over OG Anunoby. What did Kyle Murray-Boyles do this year? We're fine. Or do we go Trey Murphy? I'm fine with that. We're going to lower this rotation. Is Zubac hurt? Zubac's hurt. Oh, man. What's wrong with Zubac? Broken left leg, 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks with a broken left leg. All right. That's why we made the Walker Kessler trade. I think we're going to be fine. We're going to go 9-man rotation. Who we playing out of the play-in? We get Toronto. Who's on Toronto? Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. We're better than this team. We should sweep this team. 169 games this year. Bam, we sweep them. Easy work. Getting out of the first round. Oh, man. Oh, man. Come on. We should be able to take care of Washington as well. Let's sweep Washington. 3-1. Gentlemen sweep. Fine. Don't have to play Boston this year. Thank God. Man, don't have to play. I cannot believe we lost that series last year in the first round. Got Chicago. We're better than this team. We're way better than this team. Let's not even mess around with them. Put us in the chip. Put us in the finals. Sweep them. Come on. Now we got the Thunder. LaMelo Ball, Conference Finals MVP. Now we got OKC. Who's OKC have? SGA, Isaiah Hartwell, AJ DeBanza, Chet Holmgren, Boomer Hurley. Man, all right. Finally get to the finals. We finally get over the hump. Going to keep our rotations the same. Zubac's back. He's healthy. This is just what we're going to run with. LaMelo, VJ, Brandon Miller, Kyle Murray Boyles, Walker Kessler, Trey Murphy, OG Anunoby, Zubac, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. This is what we're going to run with. Against OKC. Let's get it done and win an NBA championship. We lose game 1 by 5. We lose game 2. Oh my God. Don't tell me when we finally get over the hump. We cannot get it done. Shorten the rotation even more. Got to have in this game 3. Win game 3. Big time win. Let's tie it up 2-2. We're down 3-1. Down 3-1. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can find a way to come back. On the road. Game 5. Come on. Let's close this one out. Oh no. We force the game. Oh, thank God. And we force another game. Still have life. Time to force a game 7 here. 7-man rotation. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. At home, let's force a game 7. Come on. Back and forth. Bad second quarter. We're still in it. Still fighting. Third quarter, down 10. Start of the third, down. What's going on in this box score, man? I just don't think it's going to happen for us. They go on a 12-0 run to start the fourth. Man. And the Charlotte Hornets are not going to be able to win an NBA championship. But since we took over, since we made the Jrue Holiday trade in that offseason, we went to 3 conference finals. LaMelo Ball went back-to-back with MVPs. VJ Edgecombe won an MVP. Multiple seasons at the 1 seed. We just could not get a championship done in this video. But thank you guys for tuning into this first episode in terms of rebuilding teams on 2K. Let me know in the comments what team you want to see me rebuild next. Unfortunately, we couldn't get done with the Charlotte Hornets, but hopefully next video we can make some things happen and get over the hump and win an NBA championship for whatever team you guys want to see me rebuild in 2K. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you tune in to future episodes.